got Professor Chess videos. Once again, I'm in Silman's book, The Amateur's Mind, doing some chessercising with us, practicing reading the chessboard using the imbalances so that we can see what our best ideas, our best plans, our best hopes for the game is. This is a very interesting, instructive game for, I love how Silman expresses the ways to look at the board, to read the position based on where the pieces are. I love this is the boring variation of the KID, Bishop G7. This is the King's Indian defense, and this is it's called the boring variation. Boring not because you're bored, but because that's the name of the man who did this variation. I love how Silman step by step takes us through the analysis. We get to a certain position here, and then he begins discussing the ideas of the imbalances, what is going on with the board, who's doing what, who should be doing what, etc. This is my favorite kind of chess learning as far as I'm concerned. You can see he's coming up. He's going to fight for the center. They've both castled early, which is a very good thing because, and the reason you want to castle early, when you see this kind of an approach in the middle, you know there's going to be a battle. That's not even a guess. So get your king out of the way. This is the idea. And then C takes the D4. So here comes the battle. And the queen comes up to B6 here. Knight B to D2. Bishop comes out to E6. Knight goes to C4. Make sure I've got that right. And now, in the process, they're starting to whittle down. They're doing some exchanges, whittling down pieces, and we're beginning to get some imbalances, meaning differences in the position. Whether they're good or bad is up to us to make them that way, right? This is the idea. Bishop takes C4, queen takes B2, and now you can see, whoa, black's coming in on the white queen side. Rook B1, queen dodges up to C3, queen's going to make her presence up at B2, and now the rook comes over to C8. And now Silman begins his analysis. I like this. This is fun how he analyzes this. The imbalances are pretty easy to read at this point. White has two bishops. Okay, that's the first imbalance we notice. His active pieces, and he's also got a lead in development. Did you notice that? Black still has two pieces over here he has not developed, while white has put his entire army into this game. So this is an advantage for white because he's got the lead in development. However, black does have an extra pawn, and he is threatening to chop off the C4 bishop. You know, the queen's going to take the bishop because he's got the rook here, or the rook's going to take the bishop. So the bishop's threatened, right? Aside from that, black has nothing to crow about. White is doing a better job here. Now, the position is open. And what's that tell us? It should favor white's bishops because the position is open. There's not a lot of central pawns there. So white can get going something on the queen side and in the center. This will be interesting to see. The most important thing to understand, he notes, is that white must make use of his favorable imbalances. That's not an option if he's going to win this game. He has them. Now put them to work. So many times we see the imbalances, but we don't utilize them. Silman tries to train us to get to think that way. And I love that. He has a lead in time, that is development, right? So he must play dynamically because a developmental lead is a temporary imbalance. If he dawdles around, black will catch up in his development. So when you're ahead in development, it doesn't call for passive building up a defense around your king. You must play aggressive. You must play dynamic. He wants to get the most out of this position before black fully develops, because black's got the handicap. He's playing with less of an army. For instance, in a football game, if one team brought out the regular number of players for their offense, but the other team only brought out 5 players for the defense, you know, you would think the offense is going to do really, really well. Same here. The offense is fully out on the field. The defense is not yet. So the offense must try to go get that touchdown, to use a corny analogy from football. Hey, it's football season, you know. Fall is in the air. The leaves are changing. I'm up here in the beautiful country. It doesn't get better than this. And I'm teaching Jeremy Silman's chess technique because I love it so much. I mean, you know, we're talking paradise here, right? All right, shut up and get on with it. I'm with you. Look what white does. Now, I just mentioned he has to play dynamic, right? Check this out. You want dynamic? Remember, his bishop is threatened. Well, now, white can do this, but you have to ask yourself a question. What wonderful thing does this move do for my position? Not much, huh? I mean, yeah. Rather than do that, white really slaps black, and he takes f7, check. Now, what wonderful thing does that do for my position? Boy, look at the difference. Wow, that's a powerful attack, and black's not ready to fight yet. He's not fully developed. 4 of his main powers are over here out of play already. And it's very early in the game. He's only got a couple of defenders. Most of white's power is over here. See how that works? The imbalance, you see the difference of the positions? Then you can make something happen dynamically to gain the edge and win the game. This is the beauty of Silman's system. I love this. Well, king's got to take the bishop, that insolent, snot-nosed bishop. I've been studying tactics recently. Watch. The knight's way down here, but he can get to the king very speedily with just one hop. Knight g5, check. You notice he checked the king with the bishop. Now he checks the king with the knight. He's playing aggressively. This is dynamic play. He's coming at the opponent. Okay? I'm not trying to talk down to you. I love explaining this stuff because it helps me see the board better myself. So king comes way over here now to e8. And that wasn't what he wanted to do. Silman shows several variations, and I'm not going to worry about the variations because the overall game is so wonderful. Rook f to e1. Yep, open file with a queen pinning the pawn. Oh, that's beautiful. This is tough chess, right? He's using his rooks, he's using his open files. That's nice. Well, knight comes here to c6. Finally, the knight starts coming out. And, of course, it does protect that pawn. He's got to do something, right? So you can see black is beginning to catch up in development. It is only temporary, so white has to play strong here. Well, what's wrong with that? What wonderful thing does that do for my position? You're kidding, right? You're not going to ask that question for very long when you look, are you? I mean, yeah, great Scott, woohoo! Here we go, man. And white won due to the decisive threat of queen to f7. You see, it's that simple. Yeah, you have to do a little calculating here, he says, but he said, you certainly didn't need to work things out to the end now, did you? So don't let that fear goof you up when you're working on the imbalances and reading the chessboard. Your lead in development And the fact that you could make the enemy king very insecure, that was all of the provocation you needed to go get this king and win the game. Isn't that wonderful to see? Silman is full of chess instruction like this. I can't, you know, I'll bet some of you are thinking, you know, isn't this guy overdoing Silman? No, I'm really not. As I'm doing what he says, with studying the board, as I'm doing what he says and studying the different games of the masters, the grandmasters and all that, and I'm beginning to see that they too operate with imbalances. And they utilize the imbalances that's in their favor to win their games. I mean, look at the games of Capablanca. Look at the games of Anand or Magnus Carlsen. Look at any of the games of the Polgars, the Polgar sisters. They're phenomenal chess players. Look at the games of Jeremy Silman in his materials. Look at the games of the grandmasters. I mean, even Lasker and Steinitz. This is how they play. And it works because of the logical construct of the way the chess pieces coordinate together. That's beautiful coordination, man. I can't help it. I love this junk. So anyway, that's another Chessercise. And we do this daily because, I mean, there's billions of different board positions. You can open up any collection of books, and Silman recommends you do this and look at a board and set up a position and try to figure out yourself what's going on, and then see how the players played it from, say, the middle of the game or whatever, and see if you can figure out what the imbalances are. You write down the moves you think you would want to do. You take either black or white side and check out all the imbalances and write everything down, and then you see what you would want to do, and then you can compare it with the game, and it's like you having a master chess instructor standing right next to you, showing you where you're thinking wrong, or else reinforcing where you're thinking correct because you saw, aha, the bishop should go up there and attack that king. This is great stuff. This is by far the funnest way I've ever had of learning chess. So anyway, that's enough lecture. You're not here to lecture. You're not here to hear me blab. You want to see more chess. So that is your Chessercise. Have a happy checkmating time, and happy Chessercising, and happy learning, and happy studying. And we're Bob Rossing our life. You know, we want to have a happy, happy little life. We can do that in our chess, happy, happy little chess tournaments, by studying Silman's system. So, thanks for watching my videos, and I will see you in the next video.